Well, hello. I am going to attempt to do a tutorial on my way of doing this lovey. There are a couple of ideas I got from different people, and I put them all together, and I came up with this really cute functional toy where if you take it in your diaper bag, it's not real big because I use these small bears that I found at Walmart, and they're not really big ones, but they're really soft. And I've been adding on a binky on one side. I usually pick these up at the dollar store too, and I've been putting on a teasing ring on the other side. And it's easy to lose these things in your bag. And so now, if you take this toy with you, you have several options. And it's removable. So you just take this lovey part off and throw it in the washer. You see, I wove in that end a little bit loose there. I guess I'll tighten that up later on. Alright, so to get started, the supplies that you're going to need, yeah, I gotta fix that end. It's bugging me now. The supplies you will need today are a hair tie, which I get at the dollar store, a teasing ring, which I got from Amazon, a wooden handmade button, which I also got from Amazon. You can find these many places though. You're going to need an H crochet hook, which is a 5mm, and one of these little loveys, little bears. I'm going to use an elephant today because I'm going to use blue yarn today. My choice for the day was to go through some of the yarns that say on them on the corner that they've already been used, because I'm not going to use a lot, so why open a new skein. So today's is a Sweet Delight print baby bee from Hobby Lobby. I try to use an acrylic based yarn. This one happens to have a little bit of polyamide in acrylic, so it's perfect. You can wash it many times. The other choice that I brought out today is the baby Lulu for the very outside edge, just to give it my little touch. Now that's just the very edge right here. All right, well, I guess we will get started. I'll put all these things out of the way till later. So the first thing we're going to do is, well, welcome you to my channel. I hope that you subscribe if you like the content, and I hope that you would click the bell so you get notified every time I put a video up. There's a lot of challenges on my channel. A lot of giveaway type challenges. I have a Sunday live that I tend to do destashes in and games and different things. And, you know, it's fun to get away from the world and just forget about the world for a little while together and do some crafts or talk about crafts. Now, if you do a very long tail here, you can double up your the first row on your hair tie. So what you do is you grab it as if you're going to go into a stitch. That's all. Just grab the hair tie, pull up a loop with both of your double of your, and then wrap it around and draw through as if you're going to single crochet. And then just continue to do that on the hair tie until you have 36 single crochets. Now this idea was is suggested by Zelda NRJ3, and so this is her idea. I don't know if she got it from someone else, but that is hers. So I decided to add a double strand to cover that hair tie a little bit more, because the yarn I'm using is a DK, a 3 light, and it doesn't quite cover that hair tie as well as a 4 medium does. So you just keep going around. Oh, okay, so I didn't take enough. Oh, well, okay. So what I would do is I would pull it back out and grab some more, because this is important to have this thick enough. So I'm going to go ahead and take a lot more so that I can double it. Now I could have started this video over, but you know what? Well, I'm not going to. Sorry about the allergies. Now, just put that right back on there and go back to single crocheting on your hair tie. I should have enough now. I hope so. But you're going to want 36 single crochets all the way around to start your lovey. I do have all the links down below that you can find me. I have a Facebook group where we share our challenge makes. So I challenge you to do something like make a lovey or make a sweater or do, you know, some seasonal item, and then I've shared in the Facebook group. I post it as a featured challenge, and then you go in and you post your finished item. What's fun about that is, even though I pick what is going on, people make it their own, and so we see all these different ones. Right, the last 3 years, 2 years, full 2 years, and then this year, we've been doing hats every month. That is a fun one. I like to make hats. I'm going to go ahead and count mine just to see where I'm at. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 8, 29. Getting a little bit weird where that end is coming to an end. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Now I didn't double it all the way to the end. I still ran out. Now I think I have 36. So we're going to go ahead and count them one more time. Yes. Go ahead and cut your tail. Oh yeah, you need scissors and a tapestry needle to weave in your ends too. And then go ahead and slip stitch into the first single crochet that you put on for that ring. Now your ring should be covered in stitches. You can go ahead and try and turn them all one direction. You're gonna chain 1 for round 1. You're gonna go ahead and you're gonna put 3 double crochets in the first single crochet. Then you're going to skip 2 singles and put 3 double crochets in the next single. Then you're going to skip 2, and then we're going to do a corner. I'm going to put 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 doubles all in the same single crochet there. Then we're going to skip 2 and do 3 doubles. Skip 2 singles and do 3 doubles. Skip 2 singles again and do a corner. 3 doubles. Chain 2 and 3 more doubles in the same single crochet. Yeah, the allergies, that's what it is. Alright, so then we're going to skip 2, do another side, so there's 3 doubles. Skip 2 again, and do 3 doubles. skip 2 again and do another corner, 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 more doubles in the same single crochet. I'm running out of yarn here. Let me get some more. This is coming out in bunches. Sometimes does that. 3 light with polyester. Sometimes hangs up on itself a little bit coming out of the skein. The last side we're going to skip 2 and do 3 doubles. Skip 2 and do 3 doubles. Skip 2 more, 1, 2, and do a corner, 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 more doubles in the same single crochet. Then you should have a square, pretty much. I mean, it's going from a round plastic or stretchy circle to a square. Then just slip stitch in the top of your first double crochet. All right, what's going on here? It's early. And then what I do is I slip stitch to the next in between space between my granny clusters. That's what those 3 doubles, I call them granny clusters for this video and throughout. You're going to chain 1 and you're going to single crochet right in between those granny clusters for round 2. You're going to chain 3 and you're going to do another single on the in between the next space of clusters. Chain 3 again, single crochet in the corner, and then chain 3 and single crochet in the corner. You notice I did not turn my work. We are on the same side of the work. Chain 3, single crochet between the clusters, chain 3, single crochet between the clusters, chain 3, single crochet between, chain 3, single crochet in the corner, chain 3, single crochet in the corner, chain 3, single crochet between the clusters, chain 3. Do this all the way around until you come back to your starting single crochet. Do another corner. Yeah. I need more yarn already. Oh, this time I pulled and it didn't come out in a big bunch. Okay, getting there. Another corner. Okay, we're right here. Last one, chain 3 and slip stitch to your first single. And you'll have a pretty little square. I think it's cute. slip stitch into your first chain 3 space and chain 4. That counts as your first double and your chain 1. Then go ahead and double into the same chain 3 space, and you have just completed a V-stitch to start. We're going to V-stitch in the next chain 3 space, which is a double, chain 1, and a double. Then we're going to do a corner. This is row 3, and all these corners will be the same. You're going to do a V-stitch, chain 1, and a V-stitch, chain 2, and do another V-stitch. I'm in double. That was a double, right? Double, chain 1, double is a V-stitch. Chain 2, double, chain 1, double. There is 2 V-stitches and 2 chains on your corner. Skip to the next chain 3 and do a V-stitch. So you'll do a double, chain 1, and a double. Do that in every chain 3 presented to you. Across to the corner again. When you get to the corner, you're going to do a V-stitch, chain 2, and another V-stitch. Do a side, do a V-stitch in every chain 3 space across. So pretty with the blue and the purple every so often in this yarn. I'm glad I picked it. Usually I try and match the colors to whatever the animal it is that I pick out. And if I'm doing a set, then if I'm doing like a blue set like this, then I'll try and match the animal to the yarn. Yeah, the break, when I get a break here in the next couple rows, I'm going to stop and do the repeats off camera. I'm going to have to take something because I didn't realize I was that stuffed up today. Yeah, this is allergy season for me. I never used to have this, but I have it now, so nothing I can do about it, right? Take something and hope that you just push through. All right, I got to the last corner here. Do a V-stitch in the corner, chain 2, another V-stitch. Jump to the next chain 3 space, do V-stitch, and then the last chain 3 space, do a V-stitch there, slip stitch to the 3rd chain in your first 4 chains, and round. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, round 4 is complete. Yeah, I'm trying to make it square, but you know, it is not going to matter because we're going to put it on the animal, right? All right, the next round is going to be similar to round 2. because this is now going to be a 3-round repeat. You're going to slip stitch in the first chain. You're going to slip stitch in the next double. You're going to slip stitch in between the 2 V-stitches, and that's where we're going to start our round. We're going to chain 1 and do 3 double crochets in between those 2 V-stitches. And this will be row 1 of the repeats. So that's your granny cluster in between your 2 V-stitches for the sides, and that's what you'll do on all sides. So you'll skip over that V-stitch and go in between the next one and do 3 more doubles. And you don't notice that I did not turn my work on any row. You are not chaining anything between the clusters. You have already gotten to the first corner, so you're going to do a granny cluster of 3 doubles, chain 2, and another granny cluster of 3 doubles, and that will finish the corner. Then you're going to hop over again the V-stitch to in between the next 2 V-stitches, make 3 doubles, and finish across the side the same way. Put a granny cluster in between your V-stitches. So you should have had, and I probably should have said this, but that's okay, right? You should have had, been in between the 2 corners, you should have had 1, 2, 3, 4 V-stitches on a side on that row, on row 4. Now row 5 is going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 granny clusters in between your corners. I like using the 3 light on these because they come out a lot lighter, and I like using the tiny animals because a lot of times these go to newborns, and I just think they're cute and dainty. So each side of your square now will have 5 clusters, and in the corner you'll have 2 clusters and a chain 2. And I will meet you back at the end of this round and we'll do another section together. Okay, I am back. I took some medicine, not that it'll help right away. I filled the bird feeder because I saw that was empty. And I finished row number 5. It is your first row in the 3-row repeat. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch to my first double. And I'm going to slip stitch to in between the next 2 granny clusters, so that my next row will start in the space in between. So I'm going to chain 1 and single crochet and chain 3. So this row is exactly like row 3. So row 3, 4, and 5 will be your repeat rows. So you just continue to go around on the same side, no turning. Single crochet, chain 3. In the corner you will do another single crochet, chain 3. And just keep going around. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down, and you can do your lovey as big as you want, but I'm going to show you the size that I did my other one and measure it here on camera so you will see that the length is, and now if you start with your double crochet row and count them, your V-stitch row will be your last. So 1, 2, 3. So you did it one repeat, 2 repeat, 3 repeat, 4 repeat, and then I did 1 granny cluster on the last one, on the last repeat. I didn't finish the repeat. I just ended with a row of granny clusters, which I will come back and show you. That makes your lovey about 5 inches, 5.5 inches, and this way it makes it approximately 13. Let's see, it's usually about 12 inches, so let me see if it's really 13 or if it's 14. Made it, that's pretty good size. So I only did, what did I say it was? 1, 2, 3, 4 repeats, and then 1 last row of the double crochet granny's row. So I will meet you back when I am that far on this one, and we will continue on with the rest of this tutorial. Hang on, talk to you in a minute. Okay, I'm back. I had lunch and I brewed, or whatever you want to call this, a cup of tea. And the reason why I did was I thought I'd add in this video that I've been trading teas with some of the creators here on the channel, and I kind of like it. So if you have a favorite tea that you want me to try, pop it in the mail to me and I will return a tea to you that I really like. And you can maybe try something new that you didn't try before. So, you know, all the places to find me will be listed below in the down box there, the description box. So this one is a chai. It's a Twinings chai, and it even says hazelnut. So I thought I would try this one. I don't recall if I have tried it before. But that is what I started a minute ago, is that cup. So what I've done is I have done the repeats. Row number 3, let's see, row number 2 was the first granny stitch row. And that row basically started your repeat. So you do granny stitch, single crochet row, and your V-stitch row. You do that row 3 to 4 times, depending on how big you want it. So I did it 4 times. So there's the first repeat, the second repeat, the third repeat, the fourth repeat. So now I am starting the repeat over. However, this will be the last granny stitch row. So you don't do another repeat. What you do is now on this, for the granny stitch row, you put on your outer edges, the unique changes that I made in the channel. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place this in a corner, and I'm going to take and line it up with my corner, and I'm going to go ahead and chain 1 to be able to jump over. You can chain 2 if you want to. It doesn't really matter. I'll chain 2 just to show you. gives yourself a little bit of a jump. So when you go into the corner and single crochet over both, see, both the corner chains and your teething ring, it'll give you a little space there. So I go in there about 6 times just to give yourself some stability. So keep going, single crochets in the corner and your teething ring approximately 6 times, and then you can go ahead and chain 2 again to be able to jump back to your work. It does create this little bridge like that, and it twists around in there, no problem. So I'm going to go ahead and go right back to my pattern, which is 3 doubles between your V-stitches from the row below, from the row before. And just keep going, and then finish this round off. And that is all it is to add that teething ring on. And it is on the front of your work. Continue on until you get to your end of round, and then go ahead and cut your yarn. I still have about 4 more left, so I'll go ahead and finish this. Oh, and by the way, if you like the content and you want to support the channel, there is a link to buy me a coffee down in the description box. It does send it directly to my PayPal, and that is nice. So you could buy me a coffee that way, or a tea. And you can send in any amount that you would like to. It does start out at $3, I believe. So it's just a way of supporting my channel, letting me know that you want me to continue with the content. And I do have a lot of challenges, a lot of make-alongs, and I use that money to help me ship out prizes. Okay, so I am now up to my last one, and I can go ahead and slip stitch into my first double crochet and go ahead and end my work. If you really wanted to, you could go ahead and slip stitch down to the corner, which is what I'm going to do. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I am not going to cut my work until I have added on my binky. So the way that I usually do this is, and I will bring the other one out so you can see it, is I'm on the front of my work, and I just make a tab. This is the tab. And I start out with chain of 3 and 4 double crochets right in the corner space. Chain 3 and turn your work. Single or double crochet. The chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Double crochet in the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and in the top of the turning chain, which I did it pretty tight, didn't I? If you cannot get into that, you could always just do it in the space. It's no big deal. Do it in the space. Chain 3, turn your work. Double crochet in the second stitch, the third, the fourth, and the chain 3 space. Chain 3, turn your work. Do that same row until you have 7 rows on your tab. I have 4 already, so this is row 5. This is row 6. And do one more row. As you can see, it's just long enough to be able to be folded back and make a tab. So go ahead and leave a tail about, 7-8 inches long. Leave a tail and slip through that knot, make a knot on there. And now look back at where your front of your work is. Okay, at this point, this is the front of our work. And what we want is we want to be able to fold it under and button it here. In order for that to work, we would sew this button on the back side of the tab. So I usually line it up with the last row, and then I take my tail and go ahead and thread your tapestry needle. Bring your tail down on the back of your work to about the middle of this first row, or last row rather, and then bring it up through the first of your buttonholes. Line it back up with that last row and just make 3 or 4 loops back and forth over that wooden button. You could use any button that you wanted to here, but these are matching the teething rings. They match, and if they chew on them, it will not harm them. I don't think it even will splinter at all. But that's not what this is made for, is for a teething ring. So this is. Then I go ahead and, but you could use a plastic button there, no problem. Any kind of button. You could even decorate it with an animal style so that it matched. Like if you put this on a bear, you could make it with a bear button or something like that. Just weave in your end there and cut your yarn now. And then you're going to be able to turn this on the other side and just button it right into the corner space on your lovey. And that makes for you to be able to loop this around your binky, which I'll do that in just a minute. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take and do a and by the way, you could put these on any corners. You could do them on opposite corners, which a lot of times I do. This one happens to be on the two corners are the same side, but it doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change my yarn out, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I went and got some baby Lulu out, which I had before. I just moved it around. This is a used one already. Anytime that I'm making these type of baby things and I open a skein, I always write the word used on the label, so that way I don't accidentally send someone a used skein of, you know, when I'm giving out stuff. But if you ever get one that says used on it, it's just let me know. It's just the way it is. It's the craft room, and that's the way, you know, things are. So I'm going to go ahead and do my edging now. So we're going to start in any corner, just leave a little tail to weave in, and this is the Lulu, which has lots of halo, just a little. It's going to be a soft and cozy edge. So we'll go ahead and find a corner, and in that corner we're going to single crochet, chain 3, and we're going to single crochet in the first chain that you did, and then single crochet back into the corner, and that is what your corner will be now. As we go along the edges, we're going to single crochet in the first double of our granny cluster. We're going to chain 3 and single crochet in our first chain, and then go ahead, skip the middle stitch in the cluster and single crochet in the third one of the cluster. That will give you a picot edge. I'm going to skip over to the next cluster and single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in your first chain, then skip 1 and single crochet in the third. So I'm going to do that all the way around my edging of my lovey. And it really gives me a unique look. I love this. I like a finished edge, and that is what I like to do. When you get to your corners, you'll do the same. You just use the corner as 3. So you'll do single, chain 3, single crochet in the first chain that you chained, and then single crochet back into the corner, and it'll give you this corner picot. I was going to do this whole entire edging with you, but that's going to probably add some time on to this video, so I'm probably not going to do that. So at this point I'm going to stop, and I'm going to grab the silicone pacifiers that I found at the dollar store, Dollar Tree. And I usually try to get the 2 packs. They have pink and purple ones a lot of times, and they work out great if you want to do color coordinating ones. But I also found that they have some single ones, and they actually had licensed ones. So I'm saving this for one I'm going to make my daughter for the future, because she is in law enforcement, and that is her, you know, her thing. So I'm saving it for her. They had a couple others that I got, and I put on stuff and I saved them. But anyway, when you take these out, a lot of times they'll have a cover on them. These do not. So you could just wrap saran wrap around this if you wanted to while it's in your inventory, and then when your customer gets it, it's, you know, clean. Although I do tell people to, you know, take them off and boil them. So on the outside of your work, you're going to go ahead and you're going to just place this through and down. And then when you come back up on the right side of your work, there is how this ends up being on there. And then you're going to take your lovey and cut off all your tags on here, because I don't want to leave on the plastic. Now, I don't usually take them off until I go ahead and make them. That's when I take them off. And I take out the little plastic things. Most of the eyes on these are not, they're just sewn on. I try to look for ones that are just sewn on. Now, see, this plastic doesn't want to come out. And there, it ended up going inside the arm. I don't think it's, I think the end is inside the arm. So this one I've been leaving on. I don't know whether it matters. And then you just take your hair tie and pop it over the top of your lovey. You can put the arms out. You can put the arms in. Whatever way that it works for you. But there is finished lovey with the binky and the so it isn't finished. I'm going to finish this edge and I'll be back and show it to you finished just real quick, and then that way I will have a thumbnail for my video. So talk to you in a minute. Okay, I came back on before I finished it because I realized that you're going to get to your corners where you have, say, your binky, and you're going to like probably go, well, how did she go around it? Well, what I do is I fold the binky this way, and I did my picot over the last granny cluster here. I just chain 2 and jump all the way over to the first double crochet in the granny cluster here. And so it just leaves a bridge and you don't see it, which is no big deal. I'm going to go ahead and do that down here. Now, when I got to where I had slip stitched over these stitches, it becomes a little thick. You just go right down into your regular double crochet hole on the double crochets that you want to, and just go through the double thickness of that slip stitch. It's no problem. And so you're going to fold your tab in, chain 2, and jump over to your first double on the first granny cluster, single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet in your first chain that you made, and then skip one of the doubles in the middle of the cluster, and then single crochet in the third, and then just continue on that way. So at this point, somebody's going to say, well, can I just keep going with my yarn, or can I do a white trim? Of course you can. You don't have to use halo. You don't have to use this fuzzy yarn. You can do your picot edge, or you can just leave it blank. You don't even have to do an edge. But I just figured I'd put everything, all the options into this one video, so that way you can see how the finished pieces that was in the video, because it had all of these items, all these options on it. So only have that much left to finish it. And I'll put the binky back on afterwards, and it'll be all done. So we'll have the pink one and the blue one. And I did that backwards, didn't I? Yeah. Do it this way. And feed it up through the bottom so that the button, it doesn't really matter. I just like to see the finished edge on the top with the handmade button that way. And then where's that? Put that over here. Maybe I'll get a picture of this for the thumbnail, and maybe I won't. I gotta drop everything on the floor while you're videotaping. You know that, right? Yep. All right, so here is my other one, which I just dropped that off there. So I'm going to go ahead and put her there, and maybe I can get, I don't think I can get them both in camera. Let me see. Might have to do this later after the video's over with. Oh my. Then I got the teething ring on this side. Yeah, I might have to do it. There, that's not too bad. They're both in the camera. All right. Oh, I hope you enjoyed my video. Take a moment out of each day and be creative. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.